Hold on, John. I don't know if you can make out now, we're sort of in the heart of Salford University, all the university buildings, and you'd never believe it as a student, would you, that you had the infill canal behind it.
What am I looking at here, Steve?
What we're looking at, John, that's the boundary of the Manchester-Ludbury Canal. If you look down, you can see the old brick wall at Canal. So this basically was the other side at Canal. Today, obviously, this section has been used as that sort of like building reclamation materials place. You can see it all there. But underneath all that, you'll have all that beautiful stonework just waiting to be rediscovered and all them lovely cobbles. And what we'll do here, John, what we're going to pull in, and we're going to have a look at some of these cobbles and some of this towpath stuff. As you can see, John, even the University of Salford, they occupy part of the canal. Obviously filled in tarmac to use it for car parking. What a shame. So what we're doing now, John, yeah? Walking across this car park. You see a line of trees there, well just beyond there is the infill canal. If we're lucky, and obviously being this time of year, being winter, we'll see the stone copings, the cobbles, the original wall outside the railway. Fascinating little section this, which you'd never know it was here. All the students go in there, not realising Manchester-Ludbury Canal's on the doorstep, but they'd never know it. As you can see, John, I'm actually stood on the towpath now of the Manchester-Ludbury Canal. Underneath this vegetation you've got a beautiful cobbled towpath, you never realise it. Lovely original brick retaining wall there. And what you stood in, you can see one of the stone copings. So what we've done, we've come from Oldfield Road, which is over there. We've gone past that waste recycling depot with all that big building rubble. We've come up here. As you can see there, what used to be Greater Manchester Police, they utilised a bit of the canal for a car park. I think the police have since relocated, which means it'll be easy when we want to reopen that bit of canal. But it's just waiting into. Give me a spade now and I'll be digging it out, I would. That were good timing, weren't it? It's pity stations that way. See, this is it, but you can't see it because it's overgrown, you see. Right beneath the finger here. Now you can just make out. Maybe not, but if we could dig down there just a bit, I can actually feel the stone coping. You can see the edge predominantly going higher. So what you had is from here to this wall was all the towpath where the horses will pull the boats. And obviously where you're standing now, John, you would actually be in the water. So you'd be swimming or you'd be in a boat. Let's go back to the car. As you can see, John, you've done right. You found some original stone copings of them. They were probably lined on, you know, canal bank. Beautiful. Discarded, waiting to be put back into place to resurrect our Towpath. Like I say, if you pan the camera that way, so that's the waste reclamation yard. Beyond that, you've got Oldfield Road. Beyond that, you've got Locks 4 and 5, Salford number 2 tunnel, Salford number 1 tunnel, and off to Irwell. As you can see, John, behind me is the former Salford police station. Again, quite an important police station which has now been made redundant. I'm not sure is it for sale or not, but as I pointed out earlier, you can see that boundary wall again. They've taken a section of the canal, filled it in, used it for parking, but again, just below the tarmac, all that stonework, all the canal, waiting to be resurrected. Get some boats on. What we're going to do, John, we're going to turn left onto Crescent, and then we're going to go on a slit road which actually encompasses the route of the former canal underneath Windsor Bridge, and then we'll look around the university campus. Again, old police station there. Shame really, architecturally quite nice. Beyond that, you've got the old fire station. So, right interesting place. And this building, it used to be some sort of like museum, working class movement library. And again, I've been in there a few times. Now what we're doing now, John, we're going down University Road West. And what this does, it actually it follows the route of the old canal. The actual Manchester-Ludbury Canal was here. and any second now, this is the line of the Manchester-Bolton Canal, and this bridge, Windsor Bridge, is on the site of the original Windsor Canal Bridge that took the canal under the Crescent and into the grounds of Salford University. Hi John, it's quite a fascinating area here. As you can see down there, Fire Station Square, that's back at Old Fire Station at Salford. To put it in perspective, over there near the trees is the canal, infield of course. That way is Windsor Bridge, and there's a working class library over there. We're in search of the Manchester-Bolton Canal, and it's over that tree, and we will find it. Let's hope we've got these sets and this immense granite edging.
I can see a wall there, Steve.
See the wall, John, yeah? See the wall. Good picture of the railway line here.
So is the canal on this side or on the other side of the wall?
We're now stood on the canal towpath, John, behind the Crescent. To our right, which is presently infilled, would have been the watered section of the canal. Beyond that, obviously, would have just been originally probably terrace houses, etc. But we're on the towpath. This is a boundary wall, and this also acted as a retaining wall. You think when the canal was full of water, it had to be strong enough this to retain the weight of the water, because you had the railway line down below. So it had to be a strong wall, that. And again, it would have been all handmade bricks, etc.
Right, so the canal's over that way.
Yeah, John. If the actual canal now, where we're standing now, is probably basically the offside of what would have been the canal. You had that retaining wall on the left, you had the towpath, and we would have been in the water section now. This is where the boats would have been, literally. So what they've done here, when it's all been changed, etc., and they've built the new Windsor Canal Bridge, the university is putting all these sort of access roads to give access to the university, but obviously not thinking about the canal in any shape or form. But the plan would be, when the canal's restored here, is to obviously realign some of the roads and basically feed the canal back through Windsor Canal Bridge, but in like a restricted channel. So maybe you need traffic lights, because you can't take the whole road up for the canal, because the university still need access. But you could maybe narrow the road and have a single boat width just to get the canal back through. So that would solve the problem. You see a nice wall to the left, Joe? So to put it in perspective now, probably roughly where canal boundary wall, edging of the new pavement, but originally that's probably roughly on the same line as the edge of the original canal towpath. So where that is probably just about where the other side of the canal bank was. So here I'm swimming in the canal. Swimming, swimming, swimming. My horse, I want my horse. What you can see, John, actually you can see the retaining wall now is higher, and that's because what they've done to put the slip road through here, they've had to lower the road. So originally the canal would have been higher at this point. Obviously they wanted headroom to get things like Lewis, etc. underneath Windsor Bridge. They were on this site, on the site of this bridge was what was called Windsor Canal Bridge, and that was a turnover bridge where horses would go along the towpath and they'd have to cross over the water on a bridge, and then the towpath changed sides. So it was at Windsor Bridge that the towpath swapped from the left to the right, and that's why really all the way now, certainly as far as Clifton, the towpath is to the right on this side. The original bridge, it was sort of quite a nice brick stone affair. Unfortunately, when the canal was filled in 1968 and the development of the university, obviously the canal was deemed redundant, obviously land, and it was redeveloped. Fortunately, all these years later, with the interesting canals, etc., long derelict canals like the Manchester-Bolton Bay are being looked at as candidates for restoration. Obviously we don't want to get run over, so we will continue our journey onward.